Hey everybody, it's Vicki Williams with the Willow Group eXp Realty. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm so excited because I'm going to introduce you to Alyson Terrell with Morning Glory Orchard in Nolensville. Hi Alyson.
Hey Vicki, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm enjoying the sunshine and this gorgeous weather we have.
Beautiful day. And your office is just lovely. Love your office.
I don't think many people can beat this view unless maybe you're at the beach.
Right, right. Well, I'm excited to get to know you and get to know more about your business. So tell us a little bit about yourself and about your company.
Yeah, so we are Morning Glory Orchard, and we are located at 7690 Nolensville Road. We're actually about 4 miles north of 840 and 4 miles south of the Nolensville Historic District, right on Nolensville Road, so you can't miss us. But I am the Chief Apple Officer for Morning Glory Orchard, which just means I do all the grunt work. I mean that's all that means. But I'm a second generation owner of our family orchard, and just pleased as punch to be able to do this for a living. Who would have known a city girl would have become a farm girl?
So where did you come from and how long have you been doing your role there at the orchard?
Yeah, so I'm starting my 6th season with the orchard. So my background, my dad was in corporate management for my entire life, wore a 3-piece suit, and we moved every 3 months to 3 years. So I was born in LA, actually Los Angeles, and I attended my last 2 years of high school in Los Angeles, but in between there, we had moved about 20 times and finally ended up in Murfreesboro. I was pursuing recording arts. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be in the recording industry. So of course, Nashville and Middle Tennessee specifically. And my twin sister came here with me as well because we weren't ready to split up yet. And then a couple years later, my brother also moved to Tennessee. And so the parents picked up and moved to Middle Tennessee. That was back in 2001. And in 2002, they bought this beautiful 10-acre property at auction. Knowing nothing about farming. Again, my dad was in corporate management, but it was always his dream to own a little piece of property and have a business that he could run and operate himself. And so they called us one day. We were in Murfreesboro, my sister and I. And he said, hey, I'd like you to come out and check out this place that we're thinking about buying. And so, in 2002, Murfreesboro, Nolensville, that was a haul. 840 did not exist. We had to come straight down 96. It felt like the boonies. And by the time we got here, they had already bought it. So I actually looked at them and said, what in the hell do you two know about growing apples? And that is where it all started. They learned everything, crash course. And we wound up, we now grow 13 different varieties of apples, thanks to Daddy. And he planted some peach trees. So we have about 100 peach trees on site as well. And then that whole time that they were running the orchard, I can't even tell you what they did. In all honesty, I have no idea because I wasn't interested in it. This was their dream. This was their retirement. Wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. I was climbing my own corporate ladder, fulfilling my own dreams. And in 2016, my dad got sick, so the day before I got married, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And so he was gone 4 months later, and I looked at my new husband and I just said, I think I want to keep this going. I don't know. I can't tell you why, but something in me. And so I went to my mom and I said, hey, do you want to keep the business going? Because if you do, I'm here. Like, I want to do this with you. And so she thought about it and she agreed that she wanted to keep it going, and we were going to keep my dad's legacy going. So that was 2017, late March. and we had to be open by June 1st. And so this little city girl who was the VP of operations for a medical software company, had no idea what she was doing farm-wise, decided to jump in, and I hacked my dad's computer and I called everyone in his cell phone. And the farming community is wonderful and very small and supportive. And so everyone just jumped in with how they could help me. And we called 2017 survival year. And it was, I mean, that was all we could do, was barely hang on. But turns out I love it. I'm happy as a clam. And so this is my 6th season now.
That's exciting. It's funny how life could change in an instant, and you don't even know what you're missing until you have it. You're like, wow, I needed that in my life.
I don't like being outside. I don't like to sweat. When I was in corporate, I had, my hair dyed and straightened, and,
Sure.
the matching bag and the matching lipstick and the heels. And, that was my thing. I loved it. And that's what my husband fell in love with. And now you can see me, ponytail. I don't wear makeup hardly at all anymore, but I always say, we make our plans and God laughs. Don't ever tell God no.
Yeah.
Because you'll eat your words. Sure enough.
And I really love how you talked about how the farming community rallied and supported you and helped you with this transition. Our small communities, Nolensville, Eagleville, where I live, Rockville, just really Chapel Hill, just some good people that really do love to support local business owners.
Absolutely. And we're all in it together, and I think there is something, we all seem to understand the value of hard work and understand the value of being a steward of something that you've been given. And so everyone was just so willing to share anything that they had to help us survive that first year. And it was great. I've made some amazing friends.
That's so awesome. So tell us a little bit about the orchard. What do you offer to the public? What are your hours of operations? Why should people come check you out?
Yeah. So, I always kind of equate it. Everyone understands how amazing a homegrown tomato tastes, right? I mean, you go outside and on your patio, you pluck a tomato off and then you make yourself a tomato sandwich. And everyone knows that's the best tomato you've ever had in your life. Well, the same is really true for all fruits and vegetables, especially for peaches. So a lot of people think we can't grow peaches here, but we absolutely can. So we are a 10-acre farm. We grow, like I said, about 100 peach trees and about 650 apple trees. So we are harvesting fruit from June all the way until October. So we are gearing up right now on the trees behind me. Those are apple trees. And so they have just tiny little fruit buds on them right now. So they're just starting to show off. The peaches are about as big as my thumbnail right now. And so every Wednesday night right now, starting tonight, we are doing a food truck event, and we will host that every Wednesday night from 5 to 8:30 here at the orchard. We bring in a different food truck. We have all of these gorgeous picnic tables set up, and everyone can just come and have a meal and enjoy some family time. But really, when you come out here, we want you to not only get the best possible produce that you can, but we want it to be a place of peace and comfort for people. It was that way for my dad. Honestly, my parents had been married for 42 years when my dad died. And those last 16 years that they were here on this farm, I never saw my dad love my mom better. He was always a good husband and always a good father, but there was something about this, and he just loved her so well. And now that I'm here, I feel that peace when I'm here. And so I want everyone else to share that as well. I always say, if you have the choice, you should buy local first, buy American grown second, buy organic third, And then if you can't do any of that, then you can buy conventional in the grocery store. But our family farms are disappearing, Vicki. There was a big article just a couple weeks ago about Bill Gates, and he owns, so many thousands of acres of land, and it's going corporate. And more scary than that, China actually owns about 30% of American farmland right now. Right now. The family farm is disappearing, and we got to support that.
Thank you for sharing that, Alyson. I appreciate that. I can hear your passion and your conviction in what you're doing is real, and I love that. So you're not in it just to, it's not just a business, it's a lifestyle for you, and it's a family legacy for you.
It is.
That is so incredible. And I know that you have some new things that you're doing too. In addition to the food trucks, in addition to the fresh produce, I understand that you have some yoga stuff coming up and maybe some picnics. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So beginning in June, we are open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 9 to 5. And beginning on May 21st, which is a Saturday, and May 28th, which is also a Saturday, we are going to do a mini yoga retreat. And so we're going to open up the orchard. You do have to pre-register for the tickets, which you can do on our website. It's morninggloryorchard.com/events. And there's a link there for our yoga class. But we're going to do a 1-hour yoga session in this beautiful orchard. And then we're going to provide a really delicious, healthy, but tasty lunch. We're going to serve up some cold pressed juices. We're going to give you some samples of our inaugural hard cider that we made this past fall. And we're going to open up the store so you can do a little bit of shopping. We're going to talk about the benefits of cold pressed juice. We're going to talk about organic farming. And we're just going to kind of do this really neat community lunch and learn, focus your mind. And so I'm really, really excited about that. And then our picnics, the picnics actually evolved out of COVID. So back in 2020, if we can all remember that, they told us 2 weeks to flatten the curve, go home. We all did that, but then we realized very quickly that it wasn't 2 weeks. And so here in Middle Tennessee, a lot of restaurants were closed down and for a long time. And we realized that the trees were growing and they were producing fruit. Whether anyone was going to show up on our farm or not, we didn't know. But what we knew is we had to keep farming. And we knew we had this safe place, right? I mean, we were out here, we felt peace. We had all this fresh air and sunshine. And so we thought, why not share that with people? And so we started doing upscale picnics every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening. And we provide a beautiful charcuterie box, cider slushies. We have organic bug spray. We do an herb infused water. We give you all of your plates and napkins, and this gorgeous setting. And the wonderful thing is that even though COVID has started to subside a little bit and things are going back to normal, we've kept it small. So at most we have 12 tables. It's usually parties of 2 or 4. You can do 6 at a table, but at most you have 12 other people or 12 other tables here with you, spread out over 10 acres. You have so much space to yourself. And it's a really romantic kind of evening. It's a great way to, spend a celebration, something special, or if you have out-of-town guests. So those reservations also need to be made in advance, just because we've got planning to do. We've got to have those charcuterie boxes made. But on morninggloryorchard.com /events. Again, there's a link to both yoga, picnics, and the festivals that we've got going on, the food trucks every week, so you can see who's coming and see if you want to participate in that. We've tried to make it really easy for everyone to keep up with what's going on.
You have a lot going on. I bet your dad is so proud of you. And
he's laughing his butt off, saying, well, if you had just joined when I asked you to, maybe it wouldn't have been so hard. But
so hard. Yeah.
I think he's smiling. He's proud of his girls.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I have one question to end this interview, and I so appreciate your time. Really, I do,
Sure.
as I know you're a busy lady. What's your favorite apple?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I have two.
Okay,
Uh,
two's good.
and two of the and it depends on what I'm going for. But the Mutsu apple, it's a cross between a Granny Smith and a Golden Delicious, so you get a sweet and sour thing. I love it. It's the perfect baking or eating apple. We use that in our caramel apples. And then the Cameo. So the Cameo, I have nicknamed the Southerner's Revenge to the Honeycrisp. The Honeycrisp does not grow well in Tennessee, so the Cameo is just as sweet, just as crunchy, just as delicious, and it costs less than the Honeycrisp.
That's awesome. That's good to know. So I'm excited to come check out your store. Your picnic sounds so fun. I'm gonna have to squeeze you into my weekend plans. I already have a full weekend, but I'm gonna tell my husband we gotta add one more thing because this sounds so
Perfect.
awesome. Thank you so much, Alyson. I really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Vicky. Hey,
Nice.
we appreciate you. We appreciate your support of all small businesses in Middle Tennessee.
Yes, I will look forward to meeting you in person real soon.
All right. Thanks, Vicky.
Okay, have a good afternoon.
You too.